We are about an hour or so away from Canada. Bahrain, the build-up to the World Cup begins. We've got the 11, all right? It's a back three, Miller, Daniil Henry, and Johnston. So no real surprises there. Dane Sinclair in goal, of course. Kay, Piet in the middle, Larea, Edwards out wide as wingbacks, Osorio, Kone, and Cavallini. Look at Cavallini up top, Mikey. Listen, not all these players will be on that plane to Qatar. We understand that. A few of them will, though. What are you looking at when that game kicks off?
I would actually argue most of those players will be on the plane to Qatar in the starting 11, aside from Raheem Edwards. I would say most. Henry will be on that
starting 11?
Not
Oh, this starting 11, right, gotcha.
Yeah, this starting 11
part of the squad
will be part of the Canada squad. So I'm looking to see, well, mainly the big one is Jonathan Osorio.
Yeah.
Right? What does he look like? We know he hasn't played competitive football in a couple of months now. How will he respond after this? He's been training, which is a good sign. So hopefully that concussion is behind him. That's the main thing I'm looking for. And then if you look at the way the squad is set up, it's pretty interesting to see just how exactly John Herdman's going to play. They can play a variety of formations here, and I think that could be telling in terms of how they plan on setting up moving forward. So, yeah, I think it's a good sign just to get a really feel of things before the World Cup.
I think Kay is important as well, right? You know, with that central midfield being a bit of a question mark with Atiba's health, although he played very well this week in the Cup, of course. But Kay, who didn't play that much down this stretch either for TFC, getting a start today, that Piet-Kay combination is of interest to me.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, based on what we saw from Atiba in the midweek, I think based on what we saw, he's probably going to start, especially if he gets some time against Japan. This game would have been perfect, I think, for Atiba to play in to really solidify his spot. But I'm interested to see if one of these players can actually play themselves into the starting 11, whether it be Kay or Piet, maybe even Ishmael Kone.
That's a good shout.
Right?
Yeah, I think there is potential for one of these guys to get their way into that 11, depending on the status and health of Atiba Hutchinson. So, yeah, it's a good show.
Hey, Sarah, what about in goal? Dane Sinclair of Minnesota. We all presume Borjan's going to start every game of the World Cup. But I'm still curious, an inexperienced guy international level, but a guy that many people think will be the number one by 2026.
Yeah, I think it's good that he's getting these kind of international caps because, like you said, he's not at that level yet. But these games are so important for these guys who are going to be coming up because it's a completely different, match. These World Cup games, these friendlies, he's not used to playing in them. So going into these, it's really good practice. Yeah, of course we know Borjan's going to be there, but God forbid anything were to happen, it's good that he gets this experience. He plays with these guys and he plays against, other international squads. So I think it's fair.
Well, think about his mindset, right? A week ago, he's thinking, I'll be on the plane, but I'm not going to play because Max Crepeau is number 2, and now Max gets hurt in the MLS Cup final, and suddenly Dane Sinclair's thinking, there's a possibility I'm playing World Cup football.
Absolutely. What if Borjan, we've talked about this before, but what if he lays a stinker in that first match?
It's still Borjan. Right? If Crepeau was there, maybe we could have that discussion.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to stir the pot.
It would have to be a disaster, right? It would have to be a complete calamity of performance.
Even if they get 3 against them, I don't know if I'd blame it on Borjan.
No, I'm not saying.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
How the goals went in.
Yeah.
Let's be hypothetical. Imagine they went through his legs, all 3 of them. Maybe then might be a consideration, right? Even then,
so.
Okay, what would it take, Mikey, for John Herdman to drop Milan Borjan?
I would say 2 back-to-back games of that.
Yeah.
Right?
So 6 goals through his legs.
Then that way they're out of.
They're
out already.
Right?
They're out of that point. You might as well rotate the squad at that point, right?
Okay.
So I would say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stir the pot, but it's Borjan, I think, right until the end.
Of course it is.
I do think, and we were talking about this off air, maybe we are overrating Canada, but I have a feeling they're going to pull the results somewhere, and it's going to come down to that last game.
Every country has a group of fans and media who overrate their respective teams.
And we're not used to this.
And we're not used to it.
Yeah.
We should be over, thinking Canada's better than they are. It's our job, right? Don't feel bad about it. English media do it every World Cup with England.
Yeah.
Brazil, Argentina, same thing.
Well, English seems to go the other way. They bash their team into the ground.
No, they pump them up.
Yeah.
And then they crush them after an average, 1-1 against Iran.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's these guys are scum. And she burnt in effigy. And that's what you do. So maybe we'll do that. Right, so come on, Canada, really great team could win the World Cup. Lose to Belgium, you've to let yourselves down. You've let the country down. It's pathetic.
Jesus.
Set the bar high.
Then we're a football culture.
Yeah, so we got to start doing that.
Yeah, we got to do that.
I got it, James.
Just so you know, okay? We've got to educate. All right. What time is it now? We're about 40 minutes away
Yeah.
from kickoff. Canada, Bahrain. Never thought I'd be this excited about a Canada, Bahrain match.
Oh my goodness.
Do you want the odds?
Yeah.
All right, Canada's favored -154. Bahrain +400. The draw +260. I don't think it's a surprise that Canada's obviously favored.
I think the number is actually pretty good for Canada. Like, I would throw money on
Dude,
that.
whoever's watching this, please do not bet on this game.
Wait, why would
Don't
you
bet on
it?
friendlies. You can't do it.
Why would you bet on it?
Because you might not see this same 11 in the second half. I mean, hopefully.
Sure, but Canada's bench is good enough to beat Bahrain.
What do we
Well,
know?
yeah,
before we
What
get
do you
that
know about
far,
Bahrain?
but
They're
Sarah-
84th in FIFA rankings. They're not in the World Cup. They
Yeah.
play in.
Yeah,
no.
you say that, but Mikey will explain to the audience here about the left back for Bahrain and how strong he is.
Yeah. Let me just jump right over that.
Don't bet.
I
Do
can't
not
name
bet
a
on
single
friendlies.
player.
If you want to bet on anything when it comes to friendlies, just bet goals. Go the over the goals, and if it hits, it hits. But don't spend too much money on it. You
imagine
can't.
a 1-0
You don't
game.
know what's gonna happen.
All right, so Albert Vatanian on Twitter,
They have
he just
something to
told
play
you
for.
to bet on goals. In
Goals.
this
Yeah,
game.
just bet goals. Yeah,
Go on the
over
over?
2.5.
All right, well, let's
Yeah,
find out.
And
Canada's
0-0.
gonna score over 2.5.
We'll reconvene later today and break down just how many goals were scored in this match and
right.
by whom, okay? And why Raheem Edwards has to be on the plane to Qatar.
Okay.
All right.